Oh my goodness. Pulverizer and Andrew, they must have heard my you guys on the other video. Kind of funny, made me laugh. What's up, Tom? Tom's in the house. I got Pulverizer Andrew. Soft guy for the era for the win. Yeah, soft. The old buddy Josh is by himself tonight, dude. My wife's out of town. My boys are out of town. My daughter's in San Diego. My other daughter's sleeping over her friends. It's just me and the puppies. Kind of lonely. I was just watching the USC Penn State game. Give me a heads up on. I'm hoping Penn State pulls that out. Looks like UGA was smoking Mississippi State. As we'll see. I mean, the last time I saw was 2 touchdowns. I was trying to watch that Texas Oklahoma game. Couldn't. I just couldn't. But hope UGA puts the whooping on. The Clemson won, so that's good. So Clemson won going away today. They smoked Wake Forest, so Clemson's back. UGA looks pretty good. Alabama just basically survived South Carolina. They're overrated, of course. And then they see Penn State, but it's just crazy. Tom, you appreciate this. This is Penn State and USC playing in a non-Rose Bowl game. It's just weird, man. It's not the way it's supposed to be. It's not the way it's supposed to be. Penn State and USC playing in a non-Rose Bowl game. I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. It's all sunny out there in California. This is supposed to be in the middle of the wintertime. When it's all sunny out in California, they go to the Rose Bowl to play. It's all sunny and whatnot. And it's just weird seeing it in the beginning, the middle of October. I don't like it. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, so appreciate y'all being here. Looks like we got some people on Twitter, got some people on the main page, Heritage Wealth Planning. Got a guy on Facebook, got a couple other people on my Josh Scanlon YouTube channel. All right, so we got people all over. We got Twitter, Facebook, both my YouTube channels. All right, who makes these schedules? I don't know, Tom. I don't know how that works. I think like Missouri played UMass today. Like why would Missouri have a schedule at UMass, halfway through the season? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so I'm not sure, man. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. But but the thing is, USC should not be playing Penn State in the regular season. Crazy. So basically, we got 2 main conferences now: the SEC and the Big Ten. And I'm a Big Ten guy, even though I hope Georgia does all right. But I will. If Georgia played Ohio State, I'd go for Georgia. If Georgia played Penn State, I'd probably. I don't know. I like Georgia. The way they're constituted right now. I like Kirby Smart. He's a pretty good guy. But other than Georgia, if any SEC team plays any Big Ten team, I'm going for the Big Ten every single time. Well, I'd love to see Iowa. Yeah, Iowa won today. Oh, man, imagine Iowa. Then Minnesota beat USC the other day. Talk about, I think someone on this channel said, definitely non-DEI teams playing Iowa and Minnesota. So I'd love to see Iowa go, I don't know. I don't think they're going to make a playoff. It's always going to default. The SEC will get 5 to 6 bids in the playoff. Is crazy. But, hey, we got a playoff. It's cool. So, all right, let me go get my tea. I'll be right. Hey, Vaughn, what's up, man? I haven't seen you. There's Gary 50. Hey, look at Gary. I haven't seen you around here in a long time, Gary. Where are you right now? Look at old Gary. Where the hell you been, man? Where are you? All right, let me go get my tea. I'll be right back. All right. There's Vaughn Drewski from Minnesota. Nothing's better than hanging with Josh and his whistle on Saturday night. By the way, my dog Bullet is Blue Heeler, Austrian cattle dog. I'm not sure what that is, man. Highest calculator. I have it right here. We got there's Vaughn. All right, right on Vaughn. Maybe he'll drop it in his tea on my calculator. Been traveling. Look at my man Gary. 53 of 63 national parks in our motorhome. That's freaking fantastic, man. What's your favorite national park so far, Gary? Look at Penelope. Maybe hell drop it in his tea. Right here in other than California, Penelope, we use the apostrophe. I know they might not have told you what apostrophe is when you're in school in California, but all the other 49 states we go he with apostrophe then LL. So just I don't know, I just throwing it out there so maybe you can go back to school and learn proper English. There's Douglas Mandelas. All right, I've seen you around here these parts. All right, so right on, man. Cool. All right, so look at Penelope already getting the brunt of our jokes. Actually, Penelope, I don't make more fun than me fail. Yeah, right here. That's impossible. I don't make more fun than anyone other than Pulverizer. Excuse me, heel. Oh yeah, now you're saying. So now you're getting it. So Penelope got corrected by Josh. Yeah, yeah. All right. So one thing I want to start with is I'm reading this book. I've had this for a little bit. I don't think we'll have a huge turnout tonight just because it's coming in early. But like when my wife's not here, I like to go to bed early. So what I'm going to do is when I'm done here, I'm watching this show on I forgot some show. So sorry, entertaining. Then I'm reading a book. I can't remember what the book's called either. But anyway, so I like to get a good night's sleep. Penn State going to man. All right, come on, man. All right, so they stopped USC from getting any points. USC had the ball with less than 2 minutes left, so they stopped them. Hey, babe, I don't know if my wife's on Facebook. Babe, you on Facebook or you just liked it? My wife just liked the Facebook thing. Let's see. Hey, look. Oh, man, that's my wife. Oh, look, there she is. I'm from California. Oh, man, I love her. That's awesome. Oh, boy, I'm going to start crying. I love my wife. She's the best. There she is. You can't really see her. But, oh, man, hope you guys are having fun out there in California. Oh, man. Yeah, that's my wife right there, everybody. Oh, man, that makes me happy. Believe it or not, we've had a good relationship for more than 25 years. In fact, we were just talking to our kids. I can't remember, my wife and I were talking the other day, like, we haven't had we don't fight. I mean, we disagree on occasion, but we don't like have drop down fights. And we're just, and I can't remember why we're talking with a conversation with my kid. I can't remember, but it's just like, we don't drink. And I think part of the reason we never fight is because we are sober. You know what I'm saying? Staying sober is amazing what you can do with when you stay sober. You don't have to be all pissy and have to get the last word and all that. It's when you don't, I tell you, man, when you don't drink, you see the world differently. It's like when you drink, I don't know about what it was like for a lady to drink, but for a man to drink, he's just like, I'm here and, you're disrespecting me. You know what I'm saying? It's like being a hip hop star. Like I'm being disrespected. All right. So here's my man, Gary Fitty Fitty. Tough to say, but all parks in Utah are amazing. Tetons and Glacier are awesome too. Heading to Alaska in spring, life's good. Right on, man. Scott, you quit alcohol 7 days ago. All right, good. Now, one thing I will tell you, Scott, is remember, because I'm working with another guy, his name's Steve, and I'm trying to encourage him to give up alcohol. He's like, I'm just going to go to moderation. This is after him telling me he's already an addict. I said, there's no such thing as moderation for an addict. He goes, well, you're going to tell me I'm never going to drink again? I said, no, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, don't drink right now. That's it. This 1 moment is all you can control, man. Just this one moment. Just don't drink. Worry about the later and the later. But right now is all you can do. Just don't drink. And that's why in AA, they say 1 day at a time. Just today, I'm not going to drink. And I say, you got to even bring that down to just this hour, I won't drink. Just this minute, I won't drink. Nah, dude, 100%. I wish I could do moderation. I was watching something that a pint of Guinness. I said, man, that looks freaking, and like a pint, with a little bit of top. I was like, man, that looks freaking fantastic. I can't drink because I drank one. Hey, Marie. All right. Marie's in the house. Right on. Yeah. If I drank 1 pint of Guinness, I'd drink the whole damn keg. Pulverizer says people will say what they really think when they drink. 100%, man. It's funny. When I was in 9th grade, I had a girlfriend in Maine when I lived in Maine. And I was like, that's weird, man. I was like, I really liked her in 8th grade. And she was kind of, not want to say blowing me off, but we didn't, anyway, long story short. And then in 9th grade, for some reason, she started liking me. I don't know why. And then it was weird. I just remember she was nice. She was pretty, the whole thing, smart. And when she started liking me, I didn't like her that much anymore. It's weird, man. Hey, well, John's in the house from Colorado. Right on, John. And anyway, I remember one night we were just drinking, me and my friends and her and a couple other girls and stuff around. And my dad wasn't there, so I was at his house, where I was living in Portland, Maine. And I just remember us just like, yeah, I was just kind of being me. I just wasn't yelling or just being, whatever. I was like, not ignoring her, just not being a good guy. And she goes, "Why don't you just tell me what's on your mind?" They say I remember this like it was yesterday. We're walking near the University of Southern Maine, the University of Maine Law School. And she goes, "Why don't you just tell me what's on your mind? When people drink, they say what's true." And I said, "I'm not really digging you anymore." And I remember I just said, "Oh man, I was not a very nice person." It's weird too because I liked her a lot, and then the minute she started liking me, I said, "Ooh, yeah, you like me? I can't like." And this is with alcoholics. There's a book called Adult Children of Alcoholics, and I read this book. I was like, "Holy crap, this lady's talking about me." When you're raised in a way that you always are, you don't feel like you're deserved of anything. It's not imposter syndrome. That's something different. I don't buy into that imposter syndrome stuff. When you're raised in a way that you're always like feeling uh, like you're just not deserving. You know what I'm saying? Then when someone actually likes you, you're saying, "Whoa," because you always feel you messed up. When someone actually likes you, like, "Whoa, you must be way messed up because I'm messed up. And if you like me, there's something way wrong with you because no one who's normal would like me because I'm such a messed up guy. So if you like me, you're way messed up." And that's and I never thought about it like that until my mom told me to read that book right when I started dating Charlotte, as a matter of fact. And 'cause I said, "What the hell? Why can't I just?" She goes, "Here, read this book." I said, "Holy!" I remember, man. It brought me to tears. I was crying. I was like, "Dude, this lady's writing about me. It's crazy." Adult Children of Alcoholics. I can't remember the name of the lady who wrote it, but it's on Amazon. It's a great, great book. And the point being is like you don't, you never hear this stuff, and it really helped me change it 100%. We got Papa Z in the house. All right, so let's start our thing here with some prayers first and foremost. So Heavenly Father, we just pray for those people still stuck in harm's way in Tennessee and North Carolina and Georgia, South Carolina, and people in Florida as well. But look out for those people, Lord, especially as it starts getting cold up there in the mountains of Appalachia. Just we pray for them, Lord. Help us, whatever we can part with financially. Please let us give the resources that we can afford to give, Lord. And just please look out for them and make them know, please, that we're praying for them, we're thinking about them. We just pray for their recovery, pray for their sanity. We just pray in Jesus' name, amen. I was listening to Clay Travis yesterday. He brought up a good point. It's starting to get cold up there at night. Because right here it's starting to get, it was like 50 degrees this morning. And I was like, I didn't even think about that. Like, you got no house, you're out in I don't know, have they rescued all the people in the mountain? Like Clay Travis is 40. You can't even travel on 40. I mean, still like is dead. It won't be back for a year, man. That's 40. I-40. I've driven on that road 1,000,000,000 times. And Clay's like, it's just nothing there. It's like the ground underneath the asphalt is gone. I said, man. And I just, imagine not having a house, and I don't know if they're still stuck on the mountains. I don't know, but they'll each day we forget how bad, and it is what it is, man. It's like the world still spins, but man, I can't imagine. Like, I just can't. Like, as I did my video on, can you deduct hurricane losses off your taxes in terms of doing Roth conversions. And so I think, Tom, you're playing around with some software too on taxes. So what I found, and I'm not a tax pro, so just take it as it were, as it is. But I was running some TurboTax stuff, and you could only deduct what you could deduct the less of your cost basis or the fair market value. That's it. And so, like, my fair market value is significantly, is probably 2 to 3 times higher than the cost basis. You see what I'm saying? And the cost basis, that's all you can deduct. So all the equity you had in your house above and beyond what your cost is gone, just wiped away. And that sucks. And people are like, "Oh, you want government?" I said, "Dude, I don't know what I want. I just know you saw the same with tax cut. Right on, Tom." Yeah. So now, Tom, so I was running some Roth conversions, and it looked like you could use those deductions to offset Roth conversions. And now that's not great, but it's better than a hole in the head. So I don't know if you were doing the same, Tom, but on tax cut, were you able to do Roth conversions and offset those income off Roth conversions with those tax losses that you had, the deductions that you had? But I mean, people are like, oh, so like one guy said, you want government? I said, dude, I don't know. I just know we have people suffering, and it's not good. And especially when we have people up in Brunswick, Maine, who the federal government is giving free rent to. They're not having to work. Just the whole thing is insane. They're getting accommodations like better accommodations than what Charlotte and I had when we first moved to our first apartment. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. And they don't have to work. They're getting free food, free cable, the whole damn thing. Hey, is it Brian? What's up, Brian? I hope Penn State pulls it out, man. So keep me in the loop there. And I don't know if I want government to quote bail these people out, but we can talk about that later. Let's just get these people squared away first. The whole thing's so stupid. I hate it. And then people are like, oh, but how about their insurance? They can't deduct the losses against their insurance, the insurance recoups. I said, exactly. The problem is a lot of these people don't have flood insurance, in which case their homeowner's insurance doesn't cover anything, because a flood is an exception to your homeowner's insurance. It's just additional income. Hey, we got Ronald on Facebook. What's up, Ronald? Appreciate you being on Facebook. Hey, you're an MP? All right, so you won't drink and drive. It's just additional income, so that makes sense. Yeah, 100%. All right, so I was showing that you could. So in this case, I emailed Kayla, who I interviewed a couple weeks ago. I said, if you have pre-tax IRA, at least you can do Roth conversions. It looks to me, and basically wipe out any taxes for that year. And you only got 1 year to use it too. That I came up with. That's it, man. We got 1 year. I was like, sheesh. Yeah, good question, Penelope. I sent her a thing yesterday or 2 days ago. Kayla, they've raised $7,500. So a couple of you guys have donated to her. So I really appreciate y'all doing. So here's so she had so I said, hey, Kayla, any word, this on Tuesday, any word from what FEMA can do for you yet? And she goes, they're coming out tomorrow. The local TV show just interviewed her, and she talked about FEMA and nothing was being done. And she goes, that's why I think they're coming out, because basically she just, she was on a local news channel being interviewed. And that doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, basically you draw attention. Yes, yeah. See, Tom got lucky because his down in Milton, it was headed right for Tom's house there in Florida. So you got lucky, man. And it's good. I mean, it's good, man. Just fantastic. Charles Weis here. He's supposed to be playing for USC right now, running back, number 12, if memory serves, but he's not. He's in Arkansas instead. But so what? And so then FEMA, they only give you $42,500 for property and $42,500 for. Yay! Penn State won. Sweet. Yes. Don't tell anybody, but I think Penn State's got not one, not two, but three white receivers. 3. Don't tell anybody. That's fair. I haven't seen that many white receivers. They might not be all white. I don't know, but they look pretty light skinned to me. I said, I haven't seen 3 white receivers in a long time. And Georgia's got a bunch of white guys too, man. That's oh, they're so racist. I don't know, whatever, dude. I'm so over it. It's like, oh, it's so racist. No, I go for the people that I want to win. And white guys are absolutely have a harder time in football than other guys. Just a fact. In fact, I just saw the guy from Georgia, number 17, who's leading the team in tackles. He was a walk-on. Now he's leading the team in tackles. And he freaking you almost went to Penn State, Tom? Gotcha. But you went to the University of Pennsylvania instead because you're But I mean, they probably don't even have an engineering department at University of Pennsylvania. It's probably all just. But anyway, so the point being was that this guy's a walk-on. You know what I'm saying? And now he's leading the team in Georgia, the best team in football. I mean, even though they lost to Alabama, they should have won. Well, Texas is killing Oklahoma, so we'll see. But anyway, so you gotta go for the Whiteys, man. They're underdogs. And you gotta go for the underdogs. Oh, that's a reason. I don't care. I just don't. Call me whatever. And my man Andrew says, what would help is making insurance? Yeah, but see, flash flooding. But see, here's the issue: is that from the insurance perspective, they're going to say, "Oh, that means we have to increase our premiums." They say, "Well, if you want us to cover flood insurance, we'd have to increase our premiums." And I get that. I get that argument. If the more, I mean, this is what happened with insurance in New Jersey and other states too on auto insurance. They basically regulators said you got to do this, you got to do that. And finally, insurance companies, I'm getting out. I'm getting out of the state. Remember, New Jersey was. I don't know what it's like now because I don't live in New Jersey because I like women. You know what I'm saying? So if you're New Jersey, you don't like the ladies. But in New Jersey, it was like they basically all the companies got out. They said, there's no profit motive here, no profit ability at all. All it is liabilities. I'm not going to go to your stupid state just for liabilities. Florida, same kind of thing. And that's not even from the government. That's just because it's such a freaking danger zone for your house in Florida. And people like the insurance company should do, but the insurance companies, if they don't turn a profit, there is no insurance, man. That's just all. They have to make money. That's just a fact. And so if we mandate this, then I'm not saying Andrew's saying this, but this is the issue we have. If we and then same thing with FEMA. FEMA's only going to give you $42,500 and $42,500. So basically, at most, you're going to get $85,000. That's not enough, I grant you. But then we have the moral hazard of if we don't have insurance and FEMA just recovers everything, pays everything, then no one's going to get. I mean, if FEMA just pays everything, then no one's going to get insurance. You see what I'm saying? And you can't have that either. That's no different. As I said on a video or something the other day, I said this is no different than the individual mandate that Obama put in for Obamacare, and rightly so. He says, you can't freaking have your house on fire and then say, I need an insurance policy. That's not how it works. You need to have some kind of skin in the game. And 100%, I got no qualm with that. And initially, I didn't like the individual mandate just simply because it came from Obama. I'm not going to lie. But the more I said, wait a second, if you're going to mandate people have a product, and then you're going to allow some people to not to have that product, and then they can get the product later when they need it. That's not fair to the people who are paying for it. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have the solution. I don't. And I mean, you can say all day long that these people took the risk not having flood insurance. I get it. But that doesn't resolve the fact that these people are still out and they're hurting, man. And as Americans, we have, in my opinion, an obligation to take care of our home. And this is the whole thing that annoys me so much. We would have more money if we didn't freaking send it all over the place. It's insane to me. And then I saw Lindsey Graham, talk. I just today, I just freaking screw you, Lindsey Graham. You suck. I can't stand that guy. Let's see. I was accepted at Penn State for biochemistry. Went to Westchester. Hey, right on Westchester. That's where my Westchester, Pennsylvania is nice, dude. Celtic. That's kind of GHEY, dude. But it does look good, doesn't it? Hi, Celtic Spirit. Oh. Maybe in a different life, I might experiment. I might be interested in your Connecticut Irish ways, but Westchester. I don't know if it still is, Tom, but my brother's wife is from Westchester, Pennsylvania. That's a nice town. I very much loved it. You got Dark Horse Productions, Evening Scooter, happy late birthday, Scooter. Here's my man. I warned my idiot sisters moving to Florida that insurance are bailing out of state. I guess you cannot help the helpless. Yeah, I guess, and you can't blame them. You can't. And I will tell you, USA, I don't know if they still do or don't. I can't remember. We didn't write any policies in Delaware, Maryland, and a couple other states on the coast because it says it's just too much of a risk for us. We can't charge a high enough premium to cover our risk. But the thing that pisses me off about that, but then they're spending millions on Rob Gronkowski, the stupid wannabe cowboy guy, on some freaking whatever that guy's name is. And apparently he's a big Kamala supporter. State Farm is spending millions on Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes and Liberty. It's like, you guys say you're freaking piss poor when it comes to filing claims, but now you get all these rich guys on TV they're paying for. Also have to root for Ole Miss because my daughter is a senior there. Right on. So if Ole Miss plays Arkansas, you go for Ole Miss. Interesting. Just real quick in the Georgia, I never seen anything like this. The guys on TV are saying too. So Carson, what that was his name is Carson Beck had his. He's just when he's on. There's no way around it. But he had his pass right on the money. This guy caught at the 5. The safety had him wrapped, and then the safety just at the 5, and the safety just let him go. It was weird, man. I was like, what? And everyone's like, what the hell happened? Why did he? And only thing we could possibly think of the commentators that he thought he must have been already in the end zone. I mean, the safety had him at the 5 wrapped up, and they just let him go. It kind of pushed him off. It's strange. All right. I've never seen anything like that. It's like the safety must have thought he was already in the end zone. All right. So I'm going to share with you something here. So this is a book that started written in 1953. See, I like old books. Old books, this is where it's at, man. just smells good. It's just I love this stuff. Anyway, I thought it was very interesting. So this guy, written by a guy named Charles Hoffman, is called, and I talked about this in a video that no one watched that I did today. How many people watched that video? Very few. It's one of the things about YouTube is I know I need to be better at clickbaiting, but look, I could make tons of money if I just did clickbaits and talked about stuff. I get it. I know what pays. I get it. And I do that sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But that's not all that interesting to me a lot of times. What's interesting to me is the deep dives, you know, the old 1981, 83 survey of consumer finances. This is the depression of the 90s. This is the 1890s, written in 1953, followed up in 1960. And this is a third edition, 1980. But anyway, I just want to read this to you here real quick. This is I spent some time looking at this when I was eating today because my wife's out of town, so I got to feed myself. So right here, this guy says, let's see, Mr. Matthews. So he had written this in 1953 to Charles Hoffman. Mr. Matthew Simon, a fellow student at Columbia University, writing a dissertation on the balance of payments in the United States, conscientiously provided me with much bibliographical and statistical information. He readily made available for the fruits of his research, which are an important part of the chapter of the balance of payments during mine. All right, then if you go forward, so he wrote that in 1953, and then in the 1969 edition, he says, I am grateful to my friends, blah, 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 this guy, that guy, and the late Matthew Simon. And I just wonder, like, what happened to Matthew Simon? So literally, 1953, these guys were students together at Columbia, a fellow student. And in 1959, Matthew Simon died, and I don't know what happened. Like what? And I looked on newspapers.com, looked up Google. I couldn't find anything by him. There's a couple Matthew Simons, like rabbis, and I'm sure it's not the guy. Now I found some stuff that he was in his research, but I couldn't find like what happened to. And I don't know if Denise is here. I guess not. But anyway, so I saw some stuff. Like for Matthew Simon that, you know, he was doing research on. What happened? Did he get killed in Vietnam? I don't know. 1953, you're buddies with this guy, you know, you talk about economic data, economic history. In 1969, he's dead. And it's just sad, man. It's just, it is what it is, but it's all going to happen to us. But I guarantee in 1953, Matthew Simon was worried about his life, worried about how he's going to get his bills paid, worried about his freaking dissertation, all that. And then, a little unbeknownst to him, at no more than 16 years later, he's gone. And I just think the West, Epstein had video in Lindsay and little boys doing. Nah, is that true? Is that true? He did. Epstein had video of Lindsay and little boys. I don't know that to be true. That wouldn't shock me. Lots of still nice in Westchester. California has high premiums insurance as well. My buddy has a friend who pays $1,000 a month. Well, yeah, that's because all the freaking illegals do. And then you got the fires and whatnot. Hey, so Drewski said he watched my video. Look at that dog. That dog's I can't tell how many people watch. I probably got like 300 views. No one likes those videos. Where I dive into it, and I probably shouldn't pay attention to the metrics, but I enjoy those. Those are the videos I like the most. In fact, I interviewed this guy, Flemlo Raps, who talks about football mostly a long time, 3-4 years ago. And I asked him about his, because he's almost got 1 million subscribers. He goes, man, some of my best videos, no one watches. I said, yeah, I know it, man. It's just funny. I said, well, I'm glad to hear that because some of my best videos no one watched. My number one video that I ever did, let's see if it's still number one. It's, let me see real quick. Let me go to my YouTube thing. My number one video, it's still great. I don't know how many views I got. I had like 797,000 at one point. Let's see how many I got now. Right there. We go to studio. Go to right there. We'll go to content. Yeah, I only got 300 views on my last video. I said it's 300 views. Wow. I mean, I'm glad 300 people watched it, but just it is what it is, man. So my number one view is 13 states without a pension or social security, or without 13 states without pension or social security taxes. And I did that in like 2018. And it's got 787,000 views. And my next highest one only has 217,000. Isn't that crazy? So that's my #1 video. And I almost didn't post that because I didn't do it very well. I said, man, this video, I almost didn't post it. Isn't that crazy? I wonder how much, I'll tell you how much money I made on that video. Let's see how much that video has paid me for. So for a video with 700 and what did I say, 97,000 views. Let's take a look at analytics. So remember, my highest video is this by a factor of 4. I've made on this video, which is still insane that you can make. Let's see here. Let's do. So yeah, I only got. I should probably do that again. How much money have I made on this? $5,281 I made on this video. And that's I think YouTube gets 40% of that. So just think. At one point, 6 years ago, I said, I'll just publish this video. And 6 years later, I've netted $3,000 from just literally just doing this right here. $3,000. That is crazy. What about my highest? I don't think I can do my highest paid video is. Let's see. It's got to be that one by far. I don't think I can. No, it doesn't do that. Let me just see. So my second one, Trump's Social Security. Oh, wow. I got that's a pretty good one. This one I just did. Trump's Social Security tax bill. Does no one understand this? I did this. Anytime you throw the word Trump in there, you get more engagement. That's all there is to it. So I just did this. 2 months ago. I've made $800. So this is my second highest, largest view. Is Trump's Social Security tax bill. Does no one understand this? I've already got 217,000 views in 2 months, which is nuts. I made $800. So you can see right there. So just as a point of reference, is that my highest view got 5,000. My second highest view got $800. You see what I'm saying? So like one guy said, "Oh, he's making all this bank on YouTube and all that." Like, I mean, I'm happy. Pays my mortgage. I'm not like some of these guys. It's crazy. Some of these guys, like, I mean, how much? I don't even know how these. I mean, like, literally, some of these guys are in these, and I'm not jealous in the least. Not jealous. It's okay. It's fine. But it's crazy, man. Like, how do you? Like some, I'm just, those videos are like, I don't know, it's weird, but they're making bank. It's crazy. And I chuckle at that because again, my biggest viewed video, I almost didn't produce because I didn't like it. And then my videos like I did earlier today, which I am very interested in, doesn't make anybody. Live videos don't pay anything, Drisky. Good question. I mean, they might pay $1. I don't even put the thing on anymore to get charged on it. Last time when we weren't on StreamYard, apparently there's all these ads. So we're on StreamYard now. So last week I couldn't get on the StreamYard. The StreamYard just allows us to have it YouTube and other, Facebook, Twitter, and whatnot. Am I on LinkedIn too? I used to be on LinkedIn. Didn't look like I'm on LinkedIn. Why did I not do LinkedIn? Anyway, but last time I couldn't get on StreamYard for some reason. And as such, they, I guess because I was doing it through YouTube, YouTube was just pounding with freaking commercials. It's crazy. It's very frustrating. I don't do it. Anyway, so I never get money on live streams. Live streams, I think, help though with the overall YouTube liking you, if that makes sense. I stopped live streams for a little bit and I saw my views go down. And I said, all right, maybe that's a case for YouTube telling me if you want to be in our algorithm. And I don't know how I get how they do the algorithm. I get it. But why does my views show up? So like today, I just worked with a guy today. He just found me 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago or something like that. Why does my stuff sometimes show up in the algorithm and other times I don't know? You know what I'm saying? I have no clue. I don't know. I mean, I get what YouTube does, but I don't know like why sometimes it does and sometimes doesn't. But I could tell like when I stopped live streaming and I can't say the correlation equals the causation, but my view count was going down. So I said, all right, let me stick it. And I don't mind live streaming. I enjoy it. But let me get back to live streaming. And sure enough, my views started going back up again. It's kind of funny. Lindsay is a manly man. Absolutely. Lindsay's he's 100% American, just as John McCain. Never understood why people hate on other people's success so toxic. Well, yeah, I get that. But a lot of people will punch up like I've done videos on Dave Ramsey, and those get okay views, but mostly it's like you're just trying to live off Dave Ramsey's coattails or something like that. So I get it. But anytime you say Trump, you'll get views, which is why they all do. They say Trump, and that gets views. They get hate views and positives. Just it does get boring after a while, frankly. Anytime you're hey, I showed up. Yeah, but a lot of people talk. Well, maybe not a lot of people talk about Maine. There you go, my man Josh. I showed up his algorithm because you were talking about Maine one day. That's simple. Yeah. Well, and that actually 100%. In fact, I need to go back to they aren't content in their own lives. I think that's true, Marie. I think a lot of these guys they get jealous. They like there's in financial planning, people would go pursue their CFP, a certified financial planner, and I'm a CFP. I've been a CFP since 2005. I was like number 8,000 something. I can't remember. Now it's like I don't know, well over 100,000. But anyway, so what would happen is you talk to a guy who's trying to build a business, trying to be good at financial planner. He goes, I'm going to go get my CFP. And we always said, CFP stands for can't effing produce. So anytime someone's in the old days, you say, I'm going to go get my CFP, that meant they weren't able to get enough. They weren't generating revenue. That's all there was to it. Yeah, dude. I was just talking to my daughter about that today, man. Where are you in family again, man? You're what part of New England are you? I'm literally just talking to Chloe. We were out there at lunch today, my daughter and I said, man, coming back, I says, we get some foliage down here, but it's not the same as up there. Just not the same, and not doesn't have the same smell. There's a smell that goes with it. It's not the same down here. And that's okay. We don't get the winters, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I grew up in dude, Connecticut's nice too. Yeah. That's where my man Celtic Spirit is from. He's living in Connecticut. Yeah, it's just beautiful. Freaking is fantastic. It's worth, in my opinion, the winters. But of course, I say that from the safety of Georgia. Here's Greg, Sea Pines Hilton Head fan. All right. Right on, Greg. All right. Very cool. Hey, Marcus Parker. Look at Marcus now coming in. Fall color is going to suck this year. The drought. Drought in the Appalachians anymore. That's for damn sure. All right, so we talked about that. Then I want to talk about, I was going to say this. We talked about this book right here. Oh, I was going to tell you something. Like your realism, raw and uncut. Yeah, some guys, they don't like that. And I get it, man. Oh, so appreciate it. Appreciate my Right Capital videos. Right on, Gene. 3 years ago, I was looking at finance. I had money to invest, and I don't even have that anymore. Just saying. Damn, dude. Has it been that tough for 3 years for you? Yeesh. He's a lobsterman, so he's got to be raking in the money, right? Crazy. Sorry to hear that, Josh. That sucks, man. Yeah, it's a tough business. Anyway, I was just going to share with you real quick. So this right here, total interest bearing United States bonds outstanding by rate of interest. All right, so we got in millions of dollars. So you can see in 1900, there's $1 billion of right there interest bearing U.S. bonds outstanding. $1 billion. In 1890. There was 775 million outstanding. And you can see there is a significant number of 5%. So you can see there's 47 million at 5%, but then there's 329 million at 2%, 128 million at 3%, and 517 million at 4%. I just found that very interesting. This is the kind of stuff that's interesting because if you look at the historic bond rates, like I don't have it up here. The Ibbotson charts and Siegel, Jeremy Siegel, because this is proof right here. Because you can see the source is National Monetary Commission from U.S. So we have proof of the interest rates were back then. And the issue that one of my pet peeves is that a lot of people use this historical data without even questioning from where is that coming from. And if you look at the Ibbotson chart, this is the SBBI, and that's stocks, bonds, bills, and inflation. And they say, look at stocks. First of all, they don't log it, but they have stocks growing like a weed, and they got bonds not doing much. They got bills and inflation basically mimicking each other. And everyone acts like that's the gospel. Like, where is the bond market interest rate from? Does anyone know? And I interviewed that guy, Ed McQuarrie from Santa Clara University, it's 8 months or something like that ago. And he said that Siegel stuff is wrong. That bond market interest is not correct because they weren't using actual bonds. They're just using aggregates. And on top of that, some of the aggregates they're using were municipal bonds, which are tax-free, basically, as such, you'd have to pay income tax on them. And as such, they don't offer as high as a yield, or the coupon, I should say. And it bothers me because all these people say, well, the historic, going back to 1926. I was like, but is that data correct? And then there's another guy. Weird. I had a dream about this guy. It's kind of weird, man. But I was from New York University with an Indian guy name, and he's pretty big wig, and I think he's got a YouTube channel. And his data is different than Siegel's, and is different than Ed McQuarrie's. And I just said, well, who's got the right data? And this is on the bonds. Stocks is not that hard, but bonds are different because there's bonds are consisting of a crap load of bonds. Municipals, corporates, AA corporates, AAA corporates, governments, high yield corporates, the whole thing. So what is the data for bonds? And you're just going to freaking have this square circle, a square peg in a round circle, and you're going to say this is what it is. And you're like, then no one challenges that. And the academics don't challenge. They say, I was like, well, where is this coming from? Because what if it's wrong? And right here is a perfect example of why we want old books. Because here's an old book with actual data from the U.S. National Monetary Commission, which says exactly what the interest rates of the U.S. government. I got to take Pablo. So we were paying in the 1800s, 1890s, 6% on a significant amount of government debt. What's up, buddy? Pablo. Pablo. Benny? Oh. No. Come here, baby. Hold on a second. I gotta go get my dog. Where you go? Pablo. Come here, baby. He thinks. Oh, I didn't know you were home, Chloe. Oh, scare the hell out of me, girl.
Sorry, I forgot.
What's that?
I forgot part of my vampire costume.
Oh, all right. You going to say hi to everybody? There's Chloe. She's going trick or treating Halloween thing.
Dinner party.
Halloween dinner party. What are you dressed up as? A witch?
A vampire queen.
Oh, vampire queen. Oh boy. All right, love you, girl. See ya. That's why Pablo's squeaking because Chloe came home. That's Chloe. What a knucklehead. That'd be something AI could. Yeah, maybe, Andrew. I mean, I would think, but I don't know. I just know that if the data is wrong and people are using their I'm not saying I don't know. I just know it's subject to debate, and no one seems all that interested in talking about it. They're just like, we're just gonna go. It's like, but that's not. I don't like that. But anyway, that's why these old books are so important because it has a data in there specifically from then, and it can't be it can't be manipulated. Other than the Mandela effect, the Mandela effect can manipulate things, obviously. All right. So now I want to share with you guys. Oh, you missing your sister? Uh-oh. Come on. You want to say hi to everybody? Oh, here we go. Here comes this guy. He's missing his sister. There's Pablo. My name is Pablo. I got my teeth. Yeah, there he is. Hi. Jab, jab, hook. Jab, jab, hook. Jab, jab, uppercut. Jab, jab, hook. We love you too, baby. All right. What are you doing, bub? You coming up here too? Oh, you're gonna sit over there? Okay, hold on a second. Very well organized. All right. So now we want to go to right here. All right, here we go. Oops, wrong one. Hold on, everybody. All right, so we're gonna go here. Yeah, right. We're gonna go to bucket strategy. All right. So let's see if y'all can see this. All right. So this is my man Daniel Kuhlbert's 55e.co. 55e.co doesn't open very often for me. I don't know why. I tell him, and he said, we got it. I don't know. Like it says establishing secure connections. Sometimes it opens, sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know if that's on my end or what, but I mean, it's a great tool, but if it doesn't open, I can't. I mean, yeah, it's like still not opening. I don't get it. And I know I just emailed him not about 2 weeks ago about it. And he said it should be working, but it's not for me. All right. So let's go into this here because this, oh, there it is. All right, sweet. Here's 55e.co. All right, sweet. So I'm going to show you real quick. There it is. Ouch. Running political ads during football games finally have men talking about it. Do you see that one with stupid, the gayest guy of all guys had a manly man ad for Tim Walz? It was so stupid. They showed the guy who created the ad. I was like, oh, straight from San Francisco, manly guy. He's a man. You know, I'm bent. So they got a guy on a weight bench. He said, I deadlift 500 pounds. And I'm like, oh, dude, just. And then they finally at the end say, we don't talk over women. We want women to lead us. It's like, dude, kill me. Yeah, I saw Bama. They should have lost. I mean, all right, so Penn State won. That's good. That makes me happy. All right. So let's go to the anyway. So here's 55e.co, and you can reach out to Daniel and get your own copies of this stuff for about 25, 35 bucks or something like that. So we're going to look at this bucket strategy one right here. All right. He's got, if you want, you run your own Monte Carlos. Just great stuff here, man. These are all paid. And I use this stuff daily. 55e.co. Lindsay is voting for Kamala. Yes, he is, because Lindsay is got a little bit of a twinkle in his toe, if you know what I'm saying. Twinkle toes. The idea that one of the most conservative states in the union has Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham as their senators, followed up with Nikki Haley as their governor. I'm just like, dude, it's like Utah, man. It's like Utah. Utah had Romney, then the old governor there, Spencer, or something like that. It's just like, what? It just is so. I mean, all these guys, if they lived in Massachusetts, they'd be Democrats. I mean, if they lived in Oregon, they'd be Democrats. They just happen to be. They're politically ambitious. They know which way the wind blows in their state, so they run as Republicans. They talk a good game, and suckers like me, oh, Mitt Romney, he's true to the he's extreme conservative or whatever, harsh, whatever. I was like, dude, so freaking stupid. I was a sucker for all that stuff. And I'm just like, whatever. All right, but anyway, so the only reason I want the Democrats to lose is because I just cannot stand the righteousness of the Democrats. I mean, I want them to lose for more than that, but they're so self-righteous, and there's nothing better than that one episode where they had there's no way Trump could win, and they had all these different takes on it. Or they're like, Trump can't win. That was fantastic. I just love to see another one of those because, man, I voted for Ron. I didn't vote for Romney in Massachusetts, but yeah. And, the last good Democrat in Massachusetts was John Silber. You remember him, Family Man? He used to be the head of BU University. He was the old school Irish Catholic conservative Democrat. Man, bring back that guy. People like that. And he ran against Bill Weld, but because John Silber was pro-life, anti-crime, and Bill Weld was, freaking supposedly this libertarian Republican, and he's pro-choice. He's all cool with all that. Silber is like, no, dude. We're just, he was the old school from like the 60s. He crushed, and he turned around BU like the man was a man. I love that guy. Now in hindsight, back then I didn't, because they're a Democrat, but that was when the Democrats still had cred. And now they got Gretchen Whitmer giving a communion of a Dorito to some hag. It's just, did y'all see that with Gretchen Whitmer? She's giving like communion a Dorito. This is the governor of this. What the hell is? That was after Dukakis. That was in 1990, I think, 1990, when Bill Weld won the governorship. Oh, dude! I mean, you got the freaking idiots in the Olympics just mocking that the Last Supper, and then you got Gretchen Whitmer mocking Catholics with this fake one. Just the whole thing's so stupid. Yeah, dude. There you go. Go see JD. Say, hey, JD. There you go, Marie. Take your bicycle. Oh, by the way, I got to show you guys something. Anyway, so that's 55e.co. Oh, I got to show you. This is, speaking, Marie, you just made me think of something. I got to show you guys this. This is crazy. Yeah. Witless, exactly. I call her half-wit. I see some polls that Marino is winning, actually, so that's good. And then, of course, it depends on how polling. What are they overrepresenting Democrats, overrepresenting white liberal women? Who knows? But if generally speaking, if the incumbent has less than a 50% approval rating, the incumbent is usually toast on the Senate side, not on the congressional, the House side, but on the Senate side. If the incumbent is polling at less than 50 approval rating, they're usually toast. All right, so check. I guess, man, Murray, you'll get it. All you bikers out there, you'll get. Oh, speaking of this, look at this. Speaking of Dukakis, I'm going on my X account, and dude, it's fun being on X. I don't care what people say. Anyway, here's there he is, Mike Dukakis. I don't get why. I mean, everyone wants to say this is what did him in. I'm sorry, and a pitcher doesn't do you in. Now you could say, Jimmy Carter being chased by a mad rabbit. That shows the incompetence of Jimmy Carter. This doesn't. No, that doesn't do it. But then we got. Let's see about. Can you all see what I'm looking at here? Yeah, you can. Then we got Tampon Tim right here. Let's see, because Tim Wallace might be this. He's dumber than Kamala, and that's dumb. I mean, Tim Wallace is literally. If you're stupider than Kamala, you are dumb. I mean, that's all there's to it. No, it's not going to show. All right. Oh, man. All right, so I just want to show you this one thing if I can get to it. Oh, man, it's not. Hang on 1 second. Where's my thing here? All right, so let's go over here. Oh, more. All right, there we go. Right there. All right, sweet. Marie, you'll love this. You'll love this. This is so funny. All right. Remember, but Willie Horton was an Al Gore thing. Al Gore ran the first anti-Willie Horton ad. Isn't that crazy? All right. So check this out. This is awesome. So right here, I hope you guys can see this. All right, so we're gonna come back here.
No, you're a fucking
dude. Literally stop.
No, I'm calling the police, and you're not leaving. You're not leaving.
You all hear that?
Yes, sir. Nick did. I'm gonna go skate.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. You're not going anywhere. Please come.
Dude, stop.
No, you're a fucking.
Dude, literally stop.
No, I'm calling the police, and you're not leaving. You're not leaving. You're not leaving.
Bro's got his fucking hands on me and stuff.
Yeah, guy won't leave because of the police.
Look at this dude. What are you doing? Why are you so cranky?
I'm calling the police.
Dude, why are you so cranky?
No, you're not going anywhere.
Oh my god.
You're not going anywhere.
I don't want to be aggressive with you, dude.
Can you hear this?
You already are. You pushed into me. I asked you to wait. You didn't wait.
Push
You did. How'd you get out of the car?
You yanked my
Yeah,
gun.
I've got a very aggressive teenager here that almost hit me in the car, and now he won't give me his last name, and now he's trying to leave.
Did y'all see this?
I'm in Park City, near the Park City Park.
Oh, yeah, we call them
the skate park.
peacocks.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a Subaru.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a Subaru.
Watch those.
Yeah, he's a license plate.
His last name is Peacock. It's Gary Peacock. He's a multi-millionaire.
License plate is, and he's
So
recording me because he's a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to come and give this guy a ticket. I'd be willing to testify in court against this guy. He did not hit me. There's a law in Utah that says you have to stay 3 feet from a cyclist. He did not. He just went right next to me. I wouldn't bother pulling over if this guy weren't unsafe.
Yeah, I recorded myself. He was putting his hands on me, ripping my door open and stuff. I know.
Because you were trying to leave.
I was not.
You were getting out of the car.
Stop
You're a
being
liar.
a-
It's
dude,
in your
you're-
phone.
Dude,
It's in your phone.
you're insane.
You're an asshole.
Okay, cool. Can
Cool.
you back up, please?
No, I'm not. I'm not leaving. I'm
You're
staying right here. No, because you might leave. And I want you to be here when the police get here.
Well,
He's
I'm
trying to
not.
leave.
Dude, you think I was in your space over there?
Yes.
Then
I'm
Look at-
riding a bike. I have more rights than you.
I'm riding a bike. I have more
Dude,
I
rights.
have the
share
right
a
of way.
That's our prototypical bicyclist right there. Some rich scumbag who's now. What happened was the cops came, and the good guy, our kid, the skater kid, actually had a video of him trying to swerve out of the way of this bicyclist. So the bicyclist is being a typical bicycle ass. The kid, the good kid, is like he tried to swerve out of the way. In fact, because he was recording it, and then that guy followed him to the wherever that kid was going to go, skateboard, and he like basically held him against his will. And the cops came. It's crazy. The cops came, and the guy says, "I want you to arrest this guy," or something like that. And the cops gave fantastic, and they still gave the kid a ticket, but they threw it away after because they said, "I said, wait. You can give a guy a ticket just based on what one guy says." So this clown bicyclist says that guy almost swerved into me, which did not happen, and he got a ticket for that. But you're like, that's just what the guy said. But thankfully, the kid recorded the video. They threw it away, so I guess not. The other guy, the clown, got a ticket for disorderly conduct, but he should have got a ticket. I don't know, assault and battery or something like that, because he's pushing him. He's keeping him. He's basically kidnapping him, essentially, or whatever it is. Anyway, his name's Gary Peacock, 72, out of Park City, Utah, and he's since deleted all of his social media accounts and all that stuff. And he's a scumbag. He's a rich kid, rich guy, multimillionaire, and these guys should be shamed. I was going to name the video a tribute to Gary Peacock, and if you type in Gary Peacock, you want people to be shamed. But I said, I'm not that mean. But that really ticks me off, dude. So like, you're a freaking scumbag, dude. Yeah, and that's what they said. They said the lycra, they call him the lycra man or whatever like that. And people just like, dude, they've had it with bicyclists, man. I'm telling you right now. Bicyclists are this like freaking loud, tiny minority of just all rich people. And now look, Marie's Marie crushes. Tom out there, my man Venu, he's crushing being bicyclist. And I guarantee Marie and Tom do what they're supposed to be doing, which is stay on the side of the road, and people should give them space. I got no problem with that. But when you're riding like this, and then you're going up to a guy, these guys need to be shamed. Kind of like the 57 flavor mafia. At some point, they're going to come. The thing always swings like this. You know what I'm saying? It takes a long time. Just look at what happened to blacks in the United States. But things always swing. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it always goes back. And these bicyclists piss me off, dude. I'm just telling you right now. You're freaking taking up space that you shouldn't be. You're a danger to not just yourself, but to me. If I got to get in the other lane to pass you, you're a danger to me and the riders in my car. All right? And as such, you are causing me danger. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We got exactly. We got a lot of freaking bicyclists are crushing. It was on the video. He had the video. They threw it away. They said, yeah, he wasn't, because they showed him swerving away from the guy. Yeah, mountain bikers. That's funny. There's one guy, mountain biker, Mike Cernovich, who I follow. He goes, man, was it him or some other guy? He said, one time when I was on my mountain bike and some bicyclist was, on the side of this road, on the side of the road is dark. I went to see if he could help him. He goes, only if you know about electronic gear shifts. And the guy says, well, I can help you. I can at least provide cover for you so you don't get hit. He goes, I don't need any help. I was like, oh. And then that's what they said. So these guys are saying, yeah. And then these guys will like fly through stop signs. It's kind of like motorcyclists too. They say, watch the road for motorcyclists as the motorcycles are swerving in between your cars and stuff like that. Yeah, full spandex indicate they take themselves too seriously. Anyway, the crazy thing was this guy probably is married. He's probably got kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like, imagine your dad being known as this crazy man. I'd be like, dude, but you got to be shamed. If you're going to act, and this is the issue. If you're going to act like an a-hole, you're going to be treated like an a-hole. And that's the whole point is you should be like that kid. That kid was calm. He's like, dude, just get out of the way, man. I'm trying to go skateboard. And the guy was going crazy. You see what I'm saying? So drivers don't know that they're legally allowed to cross the yellow line. Yeah, no, I get that, Burry, but it's still danger. You're still driving into oncoming traffic. You see what I'm saying? And so that's where it gets scary. Again, if you're 3 deep and I got to go into the other lane to pass you guys, I'm putting myself at danger because your bicyclist won't get over. And that's the wrong flipping answer. That's the wrong answer. Now, you can say, we'll go file, a single file. We're just going to do it in a uniform formation, a single file formation. That's fine. But when bicyclists are 3 deep going like that, everyone knows that's dangerous. Everyone knows they're assholes to do that. Everybody knows this. But yeah, for some reason we're intimidated by bicyclists. It's weird, man. And I don't get it. I said, no, if we're going to share the road, share the damn road. But I always say these bicyclists, so, yeah, we pay taxes too. I said, okay, I'm going to start walking in the middle of the lane in front of bicyclists. I'm just going to walk. I'm just going to walk. I'm going to mind my own business walking. Just walk. And the bicycle, hey, get out of the way, I'm trying to bicycle. No, I pay taxes. I share the road. That's what we're going to start doing. I'm telling you, I'm going to start a lobby. The walkers against the bicyclist. You know what I'm saying? So I have a bicyclist and then the bicyclist, get out of the way. No. I claim the road too. Yeah, dude, that guy is a legend. I was watching some of the comments on Twitter. I think his mom's a big lib. I don't know that for sure, but that kid crushed, dude. He's like, whatever it says, spandex, mascara, big hair, 80s music, hair nation. Anyway, I just had to get a chuckle out of that because I was just griping about bicyclists the other day in my own neighborhood. Going up a hill, we're rolling hills here in North Georgia, shocking, and they were taking up the whole lane. It was probably freaking an army of 40 of them. And I was like, dude, you guys freaking suck. You all suck. You're all rich lawyers. You know what I'm saying? That's all you do. You sit in your cube. You're all rich lawyers and stuff. I can't stand you. I hate you. I know that's too strong. I just hate when people are bullies. That's what this is. Strength in numbers. I'm going to go to the city council and bully everybody because I don't want to ride a car because I am better than everybody else. I hate that crap, dude. I hate it. It's just like, no different than vegans. Vegans like, yeah, to be honest, a lot of Christians do the same. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of Christians like, well, my book, I have all the answers. So like, do you now? Okay, gotcha. You have all the answers. Yeah, sure you do. I hate that crap too. The lack of an understanding of the mystery of God's creation, it boggles my mind. Anyway, I had a good time seeing that, and all the guys coming out the type A personality. They're just they're peacocks is what they are. They're Gary Peacocks. All right, so let's go down here to my bucket strategy here. And as I ticked off a bunch of bicyclists, I like to. You stay in your lane. I even hate to say that thing, but Marie's driving on the road like she has a right to do. You should not swerve up next to her. That's a fact. I guarantee Marie has seen her share of people coming up next to her and getting close. Guarantee. And it's scary because all these people are texting, all these people are just goofing off and stuff like that. 100%. I can't stand those people either. 100%. But that's not my issue right now. My issue right now is the bicyclists taking over, act like they own the freaking kingdom, and they don't. And then seeing that guy right there, look, there's always a clown in every group. I guarantee. We can always say that guy's a clown. I get it. That guy's not necessarily representative of them as a whole, but there's a reason why stereotypes work because they are applicable. You know what I'm saying? It's just a fact. So anyway, all right. So let's go to this bucket strategy thing. I had to get that off my chest. I was chuckling. So we're gonna go over here to share screen. All right. So what we're doing here. I want to show you first and foremost, and I was talking about this in a video I did the other day. And was it this one right here? Hold tight. It was down here. Down on the corner. John Fogerty has a YouTube channel where he talks about some of his stories of coming up with songs, coming up with the name Creedence Clearwater Revival and stuff. It's fantastic. So if you ever get a chance, watch John Fogerty's YouTube channel. All right, so what we're going to do here, this is the S&P 500 taking 5% a year out. We're going to come down here, S&P 500 taking 6% a year out. So we're going to show you the worst time of the S&P 500 for 30 years was that's the second worst time in 1969, which coincided with Wellington at 1969. So in 1969, both the S&P 500 and Wellington, if you had 6% a year adjusted for inflation, ran out of money. In Wellington's case, 13 years. In S&P 500's case, 14 years. I guess you guys couldn't see that. Never mind. I was putting a different screen up. Sorry about that. So you're able to see in 1969, if you're taking 6% a year out, adjusting with inflation, Wellington ran out of money 13 times in 13 years. In 13 years, S&P 500 ran out of money in 14 years. Everybody with me on that so far? Those were the worst. Now, S&P 500 ran out of money another year, another time at 14 years as well. So, but this is basically the worst that we've had. 1969 was the worst case scenario for both Wellington and S&P 500 if we're taking 6% a year out adjusted for inflation. And let me just give you an example. So here you got a million schmackaroonies. We're, I don't want that. We want this, S&P 500. All right, so we got a million schmackaroonies. You can see we're running out of money in year 13 right there. Taking 60,000 a year adjusted for inflation. Year 13, we're running out of money. We'll go down here and we're drawing out at the beginning. We're taking money out at the beginning of the time frame too. And if we take it out at the end, it'll be 14. So I'm going to take it out at the beginning. All right, so everybody with me here. So our first year, we start the year with $1 million bucks. All right, we're going to take 60,000 out. But we're going to increase that for inflation. It can't be perfect because the inflation's at the end of the year, but still. So $60,000 at a 5.5% inflation, 60 times 1.055 is that right there? $63,300 bucks basically. All right, so let me just make sure everybody's with me on this. All right, I think everybody is. All right, so the first year we're starting assuming on 1 January, we say we're going to need the equivalent of $60,000 this year in 1969, which over the course of the year will be $63,276 because we have a 5.5% inflation. All right. So we take our trusty calculator. We say we lost 8.6%. So we're down 8.6 at the end of the time, and we took out 63,000. So at the end of the year, we're down to $855,000. Right, we keep doing that, and then we ran out of money right there in 1981. We had no more money left in 1981. We are flat broke. All right, so that's 13 years. 13 years we had money. All right, so far so good. This makes sense. I hope. Now, what happens? Now I'm just going to show you the Wellington. It's going to be the exact same thing. We're going to go over here and change the Wellington. And the only reason I'm using the Wellington because it has bonds in there. It has bonds of a clip of 35% bonds. You can see the same thing. Ran out of money in year 13. Can't use Wellesley here because Wellesley didn't start until 1970. So we're just using Wellington and S&P 500. Now let's put the Wellesley. We'll start in 1970 just for giggles here. We'll do the Wellesley starting in 1970. Down on the corner, party in the street. Willie and the po' boys are playing. Even the Wellesley ran out of money in year 14 in 1970. All right, so that's Wellington. Willie and the po' boys are playing. Well, Wellesley ran out of money in year 16. So there's no escaping. There's no escaping. Our goose is cooked, man. We're cooked. Our goose is cooked. So here's what I want to do is I want to change this back over. If you got a nickel, won't you lay your money down? Poor kids on the corner, something. All right. So my thesis here is how'd you find that out, Denise? Man. Yeah, I mean, anything you do, Fern Fins, Denise, this is Denise like legendary status, by the way. I mean, look, I was for 2 hours I spent today, an hour and a half, looking up the hapless guy. Couldn't find anything. A couple things, but not anything to say. And then Denise, what the hell, dude? What's that about? Freaking disgusting how bad I am at this and how good some. Well, thank you, ma'am. Actually, let's just keep going. I got it's freaking too. No more money for you. Freaking pulverizer, you suck. Jeez. Let's take a vote. Who wants pulverizer out of here? Give me a thumbs up. No, we don't want thumbs up. Let's take a vote. Let's kick pulverizer off our island. How about that? Say no more Pink Floyd. You're off. You're out of the island. All right. Anyway, so let's go back here. Not even a nickel. So my thesis here is that if we took this is like a guardrail. So once this portfolio drops below 25%, S&P 500. Once it dropped 25%, right there. All right, so yeah, right here. All right, so my thesis is once it goes below 25%, in this case right here, we'll reduce our withdrawals to, I can't read my own handwriting. All right, so I gotta write this down. I can't read what I freaking wrote, dude. I had us all planned for this. Now I can't read what I wrote. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. There you go. All right, so we got 728,000. I was gonna use 728,000. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years behind us. So we got 25 years left, and now we're going into 1974. All right, so we got we're just say $730,000, 730. All right, and we got 1974. We're no longer taking 6% off because we're going to give ourselves a guardrail. And this probably doesn't make sense, but trust me, it will make sense in the book I put. Instead, we're going to give ourselves, I think it was 5% I had on here. Let's see. Hold on just a second. 730. Yeah, it's 5%. So 730 times 5%, we're going to give us 36,500 here. So basically, now what we're doing is we're going to say instead of taking 6% a year off adjusted for inflation, we're going to reduce it to 5% off this amount right here, adjusted for inflation, if that makes sense. So it'll be lower. So you'll see right here, it's 60,000. Let me just show what I'm talking about. So this will be, instead of taking 60,000, we're going to take 36,000. Yeah, 36,500. All right. So now we're in 1974. The mark is down 27%. Here's that 36,000 we started the year with, but because we had 11% inflation in 1974, that's a total of 40,000 we have to take out. All right, we wanted 36,000, but we had inflation in 1974, so we had to up our distributions. Basically, it's 5.5% is ultimately what it comes out to be. So we got 730,000 here. We're starting with. The market is down 27%. We're taking 40,000 out. We ended the year with $500,000. All right, let's see if any peanut gallery comments. Oh, my man Glenn. Glenn's a legend. He donated to the Caleb thing. So thank you, Glenn. But remember, this is the 1970s, man. This is the 1970s. No, I see what you're saying. Right, but this is also, they had $1 million. It doesn't matter how much. It's just percentage. Yeah, so I see what you're saying. We had $1 million. It's just this nice round number. We could use $100,000, but this is just a little bit more realistic for these days. So don't. The actual dollar amount is irrelevant. It's the actual percentages. Andrew says he doesn't understand inflation. I know we can easily skip an inflation just cut back if we had to. Does everyone live the pain? No, Andrew. No one lives. That's the whole thing about this whole thing is so stupid about the 4% rule. And Clownfish wants Pulverizer out of here. Right on. Penelope. Oh man, Penelope's. Look at Penelope. Pulverizer says, "Hey, Penelope, you want a date?" Penelope's like, "No, I'm married." But Penelope's taking your back, Pulverizer. Damn, I thought Penelope was the first to kick you out. Penelope's seen a lot in her 21 years on this earth. Yeah, but Andrew, no one. This is the whole thing about this. Is why it's so dumb, frankly. Is that no one sits there and says, "Oh my goodness, I have to take my spending of $41,350,000 out," or whatever that is. But I just like to use this because I'm setting the premise that the vast majority of times you didn't even run out of money with a 6% adjusted for inflation. And again, no one. Well, that's what we're working on right now, Gene. Yeah, we're working on that. I do advise the guardrail, 100%. But I don't advise in a specific science. Well, I say science, but I just say, look, man, if the market is down, a la 2008, just don't freaking buy the ribeye that year. Just buy the freaking ground beef. Just common sense. Everybody knows this. If it's 2008, just don't take that trip to freaking, I don't know, Israel, if you know what I'm saying. Just freaking hang tight. Go to Ukraine instead. Vacations, property tax. I don't get it. Well, property tax, health insurance, groceries, and car insurance are going to be definitive. Vacations, not so much. I'm not sure what you're saying, brother. But vacations would be the thing you'd axe if that can happen. Anyway, the point being here is what I'm trying to say is 6%, the vast majority of time, 6% with a inflation adjustment, you lasted 30 years. The vast majority of time, I think it was like 71% of the time. The other times you ran out of money, the average number of years you still had money was 19. So what I'm trying to do is put a threshold, a guardrail, if you will, on there to say, okay, if we happen to retire in a 1969 as opposed to a 1980 or hell, 1975. I mean, it's literally that much difference. 1974, if we happen to retire in 1969 as opposed to 1974, even though the markets got hammered in 1974, what can we do to make it so we can still have money left? Because these are bad years, man. Bad years. Literally, with the inflation, with America's never seen before, other than in a wartime. We were in a Vietnam, I grant you, but it wasn't the Vietnam War so much that led to the inflation as the OPEC and all that insanity. So what happens is that we have this mass inflation that we had never ever seen other than during World War I and World War II. And I'm not even going back to the 1800s. I'm just saying in the 1900s. And that was basically 3 to 4 years each. But we had mass inflation from 1966 all the way up to 1982. Never seen that before. And people say it's because government printing. This is the whole thing. My whole argument against this government printing money is so flippin' stupid. The government didn't print money like drunken sailors back then, and yet we had mass inflation. The debt to GDP was very, very low back then, yet we had mass inflation. I mean, the whole point is what causes inflation is the price of energy. Not for everything, but this idea that, oh, the government spending was out of control compared to now? You insane? The government debt to GDP certainly wasn't out of control. The government interest payments, and I did a video on this just the other day that, again, very few people watched. I said, what was the interest payments to debt? What was our interest payments to tax receipts? Based our debt to income. Low. And yet we had mass inflation. Legends get to say, yep. Sarcasm is a low form of wit, but a high form of intelligence. It's a low form of wit. Man, I love sarcasm. Oh, gotcha. Right on, I'm saying. Well, yeah, I would say, Mark. Yeah, 100%. No, I got you. Finn Ferns. I didn't know what you're talking about. Because the Wellington has bonds in there. That's why. But I mean, other than this century, the Wellington has underperformed the S&P significantly. That's what one should believe because the S&P 500 is all stocks. Because Craig Israelson's, yeah, I 100%. I'm a big fan of Craig. I could not agree more. I said pulverizing. This is tape. Reed's just mad at me because my busting on bicyclist. But with that said, I guarantee. Look, I know 2 or 3 guys on bikes who got hit by freaking drivers who are out of control. I get it, man. 100%. 100%. I get it. I can see kind of why the bicyclists got together as this, thug mentality to browbeat people into saying, I get it. I mean, I've had a good friend of mine who was a bodybuilder who was out for like almost 2 years out of commission. And, dude, trust me, I take sides on this. Keep Pulverizer. Yeah, whatever. All right, looks like Pulverizer's still here. Oh boy. Anyway, all right. So now what we're going to do here, thank you, Walt, says Pulverizer. Pulverizer's going to steal my channel. He's going to say, now join me at the Pulverizer Wealth Planning channel. Don't go to this guy's anymore. All right. So what we're doing here, now we're in 1974. We reduced our expenditures. Now we're spending, I had us spending after 5 years, $56,000 right here. All right, so we reduced our spending in year 1974 from 56,000. No, excuse me. We reduced it from 75,000. So we're reducing our spending. Now, what the hell did we reduce it to? I can't remember. Hold on just a second. Gosh, I should have done. I thought I had it all written down. I just. All right, so what this? That's important. 1969. All right, so our spending in right there, it was 76. So remember, we're taking 6% a year adjusted for inflation. So it went from 60 to 76,000. right? Now we have $728,000 left. And what we're saying to the software is, well, we only got 25 years left because we've already had 5 years behind us. 1974. 1974 is a horrible year. We have $728,000. I'm just going to say $730,000. All right. And we're taking 5%, which was $36,000 bucks. That's what it was. Yeah. All right. So now watch what happens. And we just want this to last for 25 years. Did it last for 25 years? Boink. Yes. Yes, it did. So we reduced our expenditures from we basically halved our expenditures. All right. But remember, we started at 50% higher to begin with. We were, instead of doing like a 4% rule, we're doing a 6% rule. So instead of doing 40,000, we're doing 60,000, which is 50% above 40,000. And we did that until we hit the freaking bottom where we're down 25% on our portfolio. And then we said, okay, now we're going to have to reduce it back. And we reduced it by about half to about 40,000. All right. So it's a significant difference in taking less money out. But what happened is by the time we died, we had over almost $2 million, 1.76. So we're like, okay, so that what if we said we're going to take 5.5% out, 40,000 the first? Oh, yeah, right there, 40,000. And remember, I'm reducing it, so this is our starting point. So now we're going from 76,000. This is the worst. This is the worst of all. I think I had 137 30-year time frames for the S&P 500. This was the worst. This 1 year, 1969, was the absolute worst. This is the worst case scenario historically. So we're starting with 6% a year. By the time we're down 25% of our portfolio, we have pulled out. We have $76,000 is what we're pulling out, adjusted for inflation. In the worst case scenario, then we said, oh, if we don't tighten our belts, we're gonna go broke here. So now I'm saying drop that down from 76,000 to 44,000. That's a big hit, I grant you. And our portfolio in that first year, because the markets got crushed, was down to $1.5 million. But watch what happens. When we run out of money? In year 23 in 1996. So that means that even in that case, the portfolio lasted total 28 years, taking 6% a year adjusted for inflation for the first 5 years, and then just saying once the portfolio fell by 25% or more, we're going to tighten the belt, and we're going to. And when I say the portfolio, the value of your portfolio, we're going to tighten the belt, and yet we're still going to have 44,000 coming out, 48,000 because we're going to still adjust this for inflation. I hope that makes sense. That's a big deal. Now you can even say, well, what happens if instead of doing that, we're just going to say we're going to take a flat amount. All right, let me see if you got that's probably makes sense. Right on, man. Wow, dude. Yeah, how would you not tell your kids you love them? Man. I'm never as chatty, entertaining, or eloquent. I'm eloquent. Yeah, dude. I just, you didn't see Chloe in there. My daughter is there. We say we love each other all the time. Best thing money can buy is financial freedom. Well, it can buy a hot lady too, huh? Didn't want to assume. All right, so let's keep going here. Like Rob says, who's Rob? I don't know who Rob is. Anyway, so now what we're going to do here, check this out. All right, we're going to say, all right, Josh, so now we're down to $730,000 because we took 6% a year adjusted for inflation. Because this is the front end of our retirement when we're trying to party like it's 1999. So now I'm going to say, instead of adjusting for inflation, all right, because here we're taking 44,000, 48,000, 51,000, 74,000. I'm going to take, and I don't think it's going to work, but I'm going to say I'm going to take the last year that we had, which is $76,000. I'm going to keep that flat. I'm not going to change it. I don't think this won't work, but this is kind of what I'm messing with here. But even that will still last another 17 years. That's not good enough. That's not good. So I'm going to say, okay, let's put back to 60,000. Again, I'm giving myself a reduction, not adjusting for inflation, but for now on, I'm saying 60,000 a year, and that never ran out of money. Interesting. So now we'll say 65,000. That never ran out of money. Interesting. Now we're going to say 70,000. That never ran out of money. So what's happening here? Let me just, this is, and again, I'm working on this because, so what's happening is we're like, okay, we're going to start way up here, 6% a year adjusted for inflation. And so basically we're going to be taking 76,000 out the first, by end of year 5, we're taking 76,000 out. But our portfolio is got rocked. So we're down to 700, basically 50,000 bucks down here. So our portfolio is getting rocked down here. So man, if we keep this, so right now we're taking 76,000 out of a portfolio that's only worth 750,000 bucks. We're only 5 years into retirement. So we're taking 10% a year, and that's not going to work, obviously. So what I'm saying is, well, what if we just said, we'll just flat 70,000 a year for the next 25 years. 70,000 a year for the next 25 years, all right? Without adjusting for inflation. So we take 7 times 25. What I'm taking, 7 times 25. That's 1.75 million we're going to take out on top of the, we took about another 250 out. So that's about almost $2 million of distributions. $2 million of distributions. And we never ran out of money. Our portfolio lasted. Not too shabby, if you ask me. Not too shabby. You're like, and again, Josh, Susie says I need millions and millions. Yeah, you do. Yeah, sorry, man. Sorry, family man. You live in Connecticut. You need $8 billion. No, this is just the S&P 500, all in the S&P 500. And my next thing, I'll do Wellington, but this is just S&P 500. Because in 1969 was the worst that has ever seen for the S&P 500 under the strategy. And with that one quick fix. Now, again, you're not going to spend as much money as you would have if you did not retire in 1969. If you retired in 1974, you're fine. In fact, let me show you here. If we go back to share. But that's just luck. I mean, that's just bad luck versus good luck. All right. So now we're going to going back to 1969. What did I say? Oh, 1974. So watch this. 1974, we're going to take 6% a year out, adjusted for inflation. Oops. Put it right here. So in 1974, that ran out of money in year 18 because that year right there. So let's do 1975. I mean, again, this is 6% a year. Now, anyone's talking about that. No one's saying, oh, 6%. They're all saying the stupid 4% rule. And again, we're not going to show me the evidence. And look, in 1975, this is what I'm trying to say. In 1975, if you retired and took 6% a year out, not only did you never run out of money, you withdrew $3.4 million, and you had an ending balance of $16 million. In 1974, if you retired, it's just a matter of 1 year difference, actually. You ran out of money in year 18. You withdrew $2 million, and you had no money left. That 1 year. And the vast majority of time, you could take 6% a year out and be fine and never ran out of money for a 30-year retirement. The vast 71% of the time. 71% of the time, you're fine. There's about a 15-year time frame from 1958 to 1974 or so, 16 years. Yeah, 16 years, where you got crushed. And the reason is because the inflation numbers were so high, extended for those times. And so you're just like, well, I don't want to retire in 1974, because that's bad luck. If I retire in well, A, you don't know that going in. But B, there is a strategy to deal with that, which is the guardrail. Just say reduce your expenditures. I'm not saying you got to live like a pauper. I'm saying drop your spending from year 5 to year 6 by $6,000, and then just keep it at $70,000 a year for the rest of your life. Now, again, if the markets go up, you can change it. That's fine. And that's what I'm working on. Anyway, yeah, right on, Marie. I agree, Marie. Marie's got the thing too. Right on. When my boss got divorced, I told him if I ever got divorced, I want his ex-lawyer. Well, that's would be the bucket strategy is literally having some cash on the side. But I'm just trying to show you that at the end of the day, if we're using historical numbers with real investments here, the likelihood of you running out of money if you just have a quick strategy is not very high. It's just not. And this is using historical numbers. Now we can use Monte Carlos, and that's fine. I do Monte Carlos, and my book I'm working on. I got tons of stuff on this, but the issue with Monte Carlo is, like I've said before, and others have said, the years are independent of each other. So, like, let me show you what I'm talking about. If we look at this, 1974. Let's see, 1973. So 1973, Monte Carlo, you'll never see, other than 1929 to 1932, we've never had years on 4 years drop ever. And Monte Carlo doesn't know that. Monte Carlo, every year is independent of the previous year. And that's just not the way the markets work. And don't forget, in 1929 to 1932, we had massive deflation as well. So we've never had independent years. It's just the markets are independent of the previous year. The markets are historical. That's just a fact. So that's the drawback about Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo assumes that each year is an independent, unique time frame from the previous. It's just not true. Now, what else are you going to do? I mean, that's use historical rates of return and you use Monte Carlo, and you can kind of come up with the best strategy. And that's what I'm working on. Anyway, hey Ted, what's up with Terrible Ted? Vietnam, yeah. Oil, I mean, well, Vietnam didn't cause that much. I mean, a little bit. I'm not going to lie. But what happened was that the price of oil, and then we lost our ability to produce natural gas. So we had to go back to coal. Energy was skyrocketing. And I know a lot of people don't like this guy. And I interviewed him in my book. And I interviewed him, my man Richard Vague, The Paradox of Debt. But he talks about the many, many times we've had government printing, then there was no inflation. And everyone and their mom is so trained on thinking government printing is inflation that they literally can't hear anything other than that. They say, oh, no, it's not. It's just not true. That doesn't mean it can't happen. But what does happen is the price of energy. Price of energy is as fine as a thing for inflation as there ever could be. 100%. I mean, everything, because everything revolves around energy. In fact, I was listening to the stupid Just Stop Oil people. I was watching an old video, of running a carburetor versus a fuel injection. No, this was a 1954 video on I can't remember, some kind of gear shift thing I was just watching today, and it just needed oil because if you had everything running steel on steel, it burns and it breaks. But you have oil as a lubricant to keep your engine running. And we know for a fact even electric vehicles have oil because we know they drive on asphalt, which is made of oil. It's just everything's made of oil. I mean, it's just all there is to it. If it's not grown, it's mined. Every single thing is. And so these Just Stop Oil people are dumb. But anyway, so what Richard talks about in here is the vast amount of times that we've had major government printing and no inflation to speak of. And then we have the incredible inflation of the 70s. And then we have Reagan deregulating the oil industry. And as such, the inflation was done. Had nothing to do with Paul Volcker, nothing. So I was riding my bike today with the guys. The comment about married men have a secret bank account. I was wondering if they do. Yes, we all survived a ride. No one rioted and yelled at us because you're probably good citizens. I don't have a secret bank account. In fact, my daughter was telling me she had this job where some lady came in and said, just don't tell my husband if Brad comes in and gets my dog. And they're like, what? Apparently the lady was cheating on the husband, getting whatever that was. I don't know, some freaking animal, wherever she was working at. She goes, just don't tell. I was like, what? That's crazy. Yeah, I don't have a secret. My wife, she'd pick me apart, Marie. She knows I don't lie, and no reason to, but she can tell when I'm not being forthright. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, well, it depends on what you're trying to do, Andrew. Invest in the S&P and never sell or take the profits. I mean, I like taking profits. I think that's a good strategy. Because we know for a fact we're going to need cash to spend. This is one of the things about all these strategies that are somewhat not great because S&P itself doesn't give you money. You have to sell in order to have cash. Having a secret account, that's freaking dumb. That's crazy. We're definitely going to have some questions for our advisor next year. I think we could definitely go. Yeah, 100%, dude. 5%, absolutely. In fact, I can't. I don't think I have it here, but I did 5%. If you took 5% a year off the S&P 500, there's 100 and. All right, so here, Andrew, this is just the S&P 500. There's 124 rolling 30-year time frames going back to 1871. If you took 5% a year off, adjusted for inflation, you ran out of money 15 times. So 89.2%. Oh, that's for 25 years. Excuse me. That's for 25 years. Scratch that. 5%. I have it simple as oh, right here. 6%. That's 6%. Yeah, maybe it was that. Yeah, it was that. So it was. I can't figure out my thing. All right, so let's look at my. I got it on here. What the hell? I can't figure that out. So if you had, that's 25 years, average balance, start 90 right now. How many times with 5%? Right here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got it here. So let me just show the spreadsheet I got, Andrew. 23 days to the president election, then my YouTube channel revenue will drop off. If my husband had a secret account, you would have found it by now, 100%. The idea of having a secret account is just freaking stupid. Yep, political text will stop spamming you. They'll be back to Mike the Pillow Guy. All right, so let's check this out here. I'm going to show you if you took 5% a year off. Right here. So here's the S&P 500. 5% a year off. You ran out of money for 30 years. You ran out of money 15 years. Yeah, 15 years. So 15 years out of 124, you ran out of money. That's taking 5% a year off each and every year, adjusted for inflation. And again, that's a 12%. 12% of the time you ran out of money. That means 88% of the time you did not. And that's 15 times you ran out of money, your money lasted 23.2 years. I mean, that's going back to 1871 to 1900, 1872. So you ran out of money right around here, 1906, 1907, 1910. Ran out of money 1929, 1930. And then the big one's right here from, again, 1962 to 1973. Other than that, nothing. Other than that, that's it, man. So those big inflation years, you ran out of money. Come on, 72 is the real male lifespan, yeah. Because their wives shoops before the life insurance goes away. 1,050,000 a year, 6% after taxes, just for inflation, expected inflation rate 3%. Yeah, but even that though. But there's no evidence. Another thing is, even on this stuff, there's no evidence that we spend each and every year adjusted for inflation. And as I wrote my book, Relax and Retire, the evidence is just not there. I mean, people say, oh, you're saying the costs don't go up? No, I'm saying costs go up, but things you buy go down. The things you buy go down. Yeah, costs go up. I get it. We see that for time and time again from the BLS studies, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And people don't want to hear that. For some reason, they're like, no, inflation, you're telling me how. They always say, you're saying, I had a guy just the other day, so you're saying we don't have to worry about inflation? I said, no, I never said that, dude. Never once said why they're making these are straw man arguments. I never said that. Your straw man argument is building an argument I did not make so you can tear it down and make me look like a fool. I said, that's not what I said. I said, show me the evidence that people spend each and every year with inflation. I've been saying this to every single swinging dick I can ask. I don't care if they're college professors, they're academic, freaking guys. I say this to everybody. Show me the evidence. And all I've heard, I've said to all kinds of guys who write in the various magazines and all this stuff, all I've heard is, oh, look at the price of gas. Look at the cost of eggs. You come back and tell me then. I'm like, that's not evidence of, dude, my business it has so many just small-minded people. That's not evidence of people spending each and every year adjusted with inflation. That's evidence that the price of eggs has gone up. Kind of like when you drop a thing. What is that? That's gravity. This isn't gravity. This is not gravity. That's a pen dropping. It's not gravity. So show me the evidence of people spending more and more each year with inflation as they retire. Look at the price of eggs. It's gone up. That's not evidence of people spending more and more a year with it. That's just evidence of the price of eggs gone up for that time frame. Yeah, it is hard. It's hard. I tell you, man. It's because no secrets count, but I do keep 1,000. Yeah, but that's hell. I got some cash too, man, and right next to my Glock, just in case, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, they're dead right now. They didn't make it, Murray. Sorry. Remember, if they're 72 now, I think their life. I don't have the the chart up there in front of me. I think they have their life expectancy for men who are in pretty good shape at 72 is like another, I want to say 12 years or something like that. Remember, so maybe 13, something like that. They'll be right. Remember, it's like each year you live is one less year that you could die behind you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why life expectancy is so stupid. People are like, my life expectancy is 73 years old. Are you a baby? No. Okay, your life expectancy is not 73 years old. How old are you? 60. Your life expectancy is 83. But it's not. It's 72. Crazy. Anyway, so people in my business, I don't even think they want to keep you. I don't even think that so much. I just don't think there's a lot of deep thinkers in my business firm things. I just think that deep thinkers are not there. Now, that's the nice thing about academics. They do take the time to at least analyze stuff. But look, I've been around a lot of these guys. I've talked to a lot of interview bunch. I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm surprised by that because that's not what the data says. And then we got guys like this guy right here who challenges the idea of government printing equals debt. And, you know, the freaking gold bugs and all those people, they go crazy and they say, government printing equals inflation. It's just like, but it's just not. I mean, it could. But you are like a Stephanie Kelton. You want modern monetary theory? I'm like, well, at this stage, that has more evidence than government printing equals debt. And there's no evidence. And they always say, oh, you want to be like Germany. I was like, oh, dude, I hate that stuff. It's so freaking stupid. All right. Social Security actually is 12. All right, there you go. Yeah, Social Security actually. Look at Christopher. You can tell Christopher's a bicycle. He's all tan. He's got a gray beard. He's looking good. 83 is for women. Yeah. Yeah, dude. If I had a secret account, man. If we make it, I think we 100%. Yeah, right on, Clint. Look at Clint. All right. I guess I'll get out of here, my friends. Anyway, I appreciate you hearing me out. I'm trying to get my thoughts together on this. It does help to verbalize this to see where I'm not making a lot of sense. Because when I'm yapping like this, I say, that didn't really go over as well as hoping to. And then I find some mistakes I'm making. Like I found one just right here today. I was like, that didn't. I forgot what it was. But and then, of course, I write this stuff down. I can't read more damn. See, I'm still a notebook guy. I have to write stuff down. I like spreadsheets too, don't get me wrong. But if I don't write it down, it doesn't. Hey, look at my man Andrew. Andrew's giving me a $10 super chat. All you guys should be shamed. You should be ashamed for not giving me a super chat like my man Andrew. Pulverizer, I'm not going to give you a nickel. Andrew, you got questions you want me to answer, brother? I appreciate your super chat, dude. That's fantastic. Penelope, how old are you, by the way? I had a feeling you're over 65. Aren't you over 65? Not one nickel. Pulverizer. Freaking. Where do you live? Well, you don't have to tell me your city. What state you live in, Pulverizer? We're all going to laugh at Pulverizer. He probably lives in Atlanta. There you go, Clint. Right on. Hit the like. I predict Pulverizer lives in Euphoria. Not one nickel. Damn right, Pulverizer. Euphoria. You made $10,000. What? You made $10,000. Not one nickel. Yeah, that's right. Good point. Good point. I keep watching. Yeah, Cute Humor, you, Penelope, my man Ted. Sometimes Pulverizer. Marie doesn't comment that much. Sometimes Northern Capitan comments. A couple of you guys comment. Cute Humor is always commenting, which I appreciate. Penelope always comments. Sometimes you guys give it to me, though. That kind of makes me mad. That doesn't make me mad. I'm like, dude, Cute Humor, I thought you were on my side. Somebody be bashing me. Cute Humor would kind of play the mushy middle. I'm like, dude, I thought you're going to take your old buddy Josh's side. By the way, if you want another thing on borrowing, I haven't read this book yet. My man James Grant, he does the Grant Interest Rate Observer. I used to get, and I just, look, dude, you want to see my debt? just crap on top of crap on top of crap. I mean, it's just. Then on my where I keep all my books and stuff on my in my living room, just have what is this right here? I don't even know what this is. Satisfaction and comparison income. Just all these. Anyway. All right, right here. This is the one I was talking about. Stocks for the long run. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Edward Quarry. Oh, that guy crushes. Not. Oh, but the one I love the most. This right here. Albert and Relativity Land. That is such a good. Hey, my Aunt Harry. Well, I drink decaf peppermint, Fern. Decaf peppermint. Albert and Relativity Land. This right here is just fantastic. This might be one of the best things you've ever read. Albert and Relativity Land. You should look it up. You'll be like, man, that Einstein clown. We got some Ludwig von Mises, the middle of the road leads to socialism, always and everywhere. Yeah, it is. I don't say it's good for sleep necessarily, but my wife used to always drink hot tea when we're dating, and I started doing it, and I just, it's like what we do at night. We don't do that anymore. We got the Permian extinction right here. Oh, the Permian's all gonna run out of mud. We're not gonna have right here. The Mickelson Morley, the cover up, Miller, Dayton Miller right there. Lots of fun stuff in here, which I probably should. Oh, right here, my man Huey Long, Every Man a King. That's interesting. So I just, the thing is, I got all this crap. I read every day, read a lot, but some of these things just pile up. I wish it didn't, but it does because I actually like books. Books I like. But all right, I'm gonna get out of here, my friends, amigos. God bless. I'll see you. If you see my wife out in San Diego, Penelope, with her, because I think Penelope lives in right on Cute Humor. No, you're all right. When you comment, it's all good. Puke humor, cute humor. If you see my wife out there in San Diego, Penelope, and she's with a husband, another man, say, hey, what the hell, dude? Now we start at 7, Harry. We start at 7. Dude, Harry, where you been? I gotta take care of my grandkids. No, Josh comes first. So anyway, so if you see her out there, Penelope, say, hey, what's up with that? And she has a fake account or an account that I'm not aware of. She's making bank. I'm sorry, baby. All right. We're going to get out of here. God bless. We'll see you. Harry, I expect you to be here early next time. My goodness. Sheesh. They say that in the army, the chow is mighty fine. A chicken jumped off the table and started marking time. Oh, all right. See you, Carl. See you, Ted, Paul Francis. See you guys. We'll see you later. And even Harry, the latecomer.